A fit horse is one who is able to cope mentally and physically with the workload that they are getting. A fit horse, there are different types of fitness. Horses who require lots of stamina, like eventing horses, require a different amount of workloads, which means they need different types of fitness, as well as dressage horses who need more strength and inner core muscle rather than a long distance running. Signs of a fit horse would be that they're sweating a lot less, but their sweat is also not as thick. Their heart rates become more steady. Their respiration rate is less extreme than what an unfit horse would be. They are able to cope with more work. They become a lot stronger. Their hindquarters and muscle build-up is a lot more evident.
Recovery from exercise is a lot quicker.
Yeah. Also, they are able to recover from exercise a lot quicker. Okay. An unfit horse is one who is not necessarily in bad condition, but it just means that they are not as able to complete long periods of work or high intensity workloads. Signs of an unfit horse would be that they have very heavy laboured breathing during work. They have longer
recovery.
That's it. Okay. They have longer recovery period times.
Okay.
They have longer recovery times. Their heart rate can become a lot higher, as well as their respiration rate. Their sweating is very thick and often a lot. They tend to become tired after long periods of work.
Whatever.
An unfit horse can also become sore, or they can become lame or have muscle soreness after a few days. Fat and very fat. Okay, the condition scores in horses go from 0 to 5. They start off as very poor, moderate, fat, good, fat, and very fat. A very poor horse has a very sunken rump. Their ribs and their backbone, as well as their pelvis, are very prominent and quite bony. Their neck is very bowed and is very narrow. A horse in poor condition are similar, but their skin is quite supple. They still have quite a sunken rump, and same with either side of the backbone. They also have a cavity under their tail, and their neck is also quite hued. Number 2 is moderate. A horse in moderate condition show quite a flat rump, and same with either side of their backbone. Their ribs are just visible, but their neck is quite firm, and they still have a slight cavity under the tail. This horse in this condition has a lot more fat than a horse in poor or very poor condition. A horse that is in really good condition, their ribs are covered, but they are still easily felt. There is no real crest, no thickness up on their neck. Their pelvis and their rump are nice and round, but their pelvis is still easily felt. Their backbone on either side is nice and round. There's no real sunken. And then number 4 on the condition score is fat. And a fat horse has a very round rump, and their stomach is quite fat, and you can't really feel their ribs. They have a slight crest, which means it can be quite firm, but often some horses can tend to have quite just a hangy belly, and sometimes people get confused with fat and a horse that needs wormed. Then a very fat horse is one that is bulging on the rump. Often you can feel sort of lumps of fat, and same with their stomach. Up on their chest it becomes very, very solid, and they have a really big crest. It becomes really hard and often bulges out. Their neck is very wide as well.